At Brooklyn. Woo! Woo! Wee! Chicago. Riding. Woo! Things are getting a little funky out here. I must say. Things gonna get a little different around here. It is cray in the NBA. Absolutely. Now, in case you've been somewhere or you're probably at work or you're probably on a lunch break, what's up, Lovelace? I see you. The NBA is going through a shakeup right now, and this is based on what was put in place to benefit those who are having healthcare issues. Now, with what's been happening around the world with healthcare, this is a very, unique healthcare plan, and the NBA is taking a hit that they're out on a loan right now based on everything that happened when the league shut down because, businesses had to shut down a year ago. So a lot of things were affected, to say the least. Now you got former NBA players arrested in a huge healthcare scam. Um, this scam to defraud the healthcare system of the NBA, it was disheartening to see, but you kind of understood what was going on. Yeah, I mean, most people that that was on the list, the Kobe stopper, Ruben Patterson was on the list, but they put Terrence Williams as the main culprit to set up this whole orchestrated plan to file false claims to go up against the league's health policies and that benefit plan. So they was fraudulently extorting the money out of this plan and exchange for cash payments, and then he'll get a kickback when them check come to them. Most of them were getting like 200,000 or 250,000, and he'll take his cut. um there's a lot of players in on this, including Glenn Big Baby Davis, a fellow member on the Boston Celtics, and Tony Allen and his wife. Yeah, so this is a huge moment for the NBA because the Southern District of New York is gonna make a press conference if they didn't already, going over all these different things and how it all went down. You got Allen Anderson, you even got Shannon Brown, um, William Bynum, Christopher Douglas Roberts, Melvin Ellie, Jamario Moon, Darius Miles, the Knuckleheads. Oh my God. Milton Palanquio. Like I said, you got Patterson, you got Eddie Robinson, Gregory Smith, Sebastian Telfair. Oh my God. Charles Watson Jr., Antoine Wright, and Anthony Roten. They charged with conspiracy to commit healthcare and wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, from 2017 to 2020. They said they've been running this scam. And they said more than $4 million was paid out. They defrauded over $4 million. Yeah, you keep saying that's nothing, but you got to understand these players are not playing anymore. A lot of these players that I've named, a lot of them aren't making that kind of money anymore. And they still have those kind of bills. No, you don't understand. This is a federal case. When you start talking about defrauding healthcare of millions of dollars, so now they said some of the players did pay some of the money back, once they were caught. But it was so much dumb stuff. Like they wouldn't even have the header for the dental office or medical office that they were sending the letter from. The spelling and the pronunciation of words was terrible. They was like, yeah, he came in and we took care of that. He good. Yeah, this Dr. Hamansky. Yo, Dr. Hamansky, yo, he good, man. He came in, yeah, he wasn't feeling right and all that. We took care of that. So he good. I gave him some medicine, some of them pill things, and he good. Them yellow ones and blue ones. Signed Dr. Hamansky. Now I'm paraphrasing, of course, but they was talking about how bad this was and how badly it was set up. So when you defraud the healthcare system of the United States of America, that's going to be a bit of a problem. It's the United States of America, people. They don't take too kindly to anybody out there that's defrauding. Because it's not just them, it's the feds. You got to worry about the feds. Well, see, here's the thing. When you play in the NBA, you win what? Millions of dollars, right? You play, you win millions. You earn a lot of money, you buy a lot of expensive things. That puts you in a high tax bracket. When you don't play anymore, your revenue normally drops about 60 to 70%. to 70%. Less than 5% of all NBA players keep their money or are successful. 5%. What's up, everyone? So they're going to make an announcement today from the New York, the Southern District of New York's office. This is a federal case. So you dealing with the feds. So the NBA had to file a lawsuit with over $4 million being lost in revenue. That has nothing to do with me, but I would like to say a few things. People have to wake up. And what I mean by wake up is you got to pay attention to what's happening around the world. Because if you don't, then you're going to be out the game. And no one likes to be out the game, outside of the bubble. Most of your friends are in the same boat. Like I said, most people are associated with people. You think LeBron isn't associated with all these people? You think all of them didn't want to be his friend? They want to be on that banana boat too. Hey, Brian, you going banana boat riding? I'll come. Oh, there's a lot of those in the league. But then you got to think there's a lot of players whose careers weren't that popular. If you listen to the names, most of these people' careers did not excel. These are not players that were on your TV every night. They were like journeymen. But they put Terrence Williams as the culprit, who orchestrated the whole plan. And when people are facing possible jail time instead of heavy fines, well, that could be a problem. Not everybody's going to jail. But what this does is makes it hard for the incoming other person that wants to get health care. Somebody who really needs it. And the fund has been scammed of over $4 million. You're hurting the next person that tries to come up and get health care. You see, they don't think about the next guy. Everybody who's scheming and doing all these things don't realize the government ain't gonna take a loss. If you took it from them, they gonna take it from somewhere else. They ain't taking no else. Then they gonna come back and get you. And it was done sloppy. Are they all going to jail? I don't think so. I think Terrence Williams is facing the most punishment because he's looked at as the ringleader. They're alleging him as the ringleader, as the one that orchestrated this scheme. Who ratted? I don't think there was a rat yet, but yeah, somebody probably ratted. But the flags went up, and once the flags go up, then you have a major problem here. And by this being a Fed case, you get Fed time. Federal government for financial crimes, well, especially defrauding the government. They normally put some time on that for like healthcare and things like that, trying to scam them. That's some time, bro. Oh, no one's finna get off. It's plea time. But there will be no, I won the case. Oh, no, not in this situation. See, the problem was they were defrauding to get money, extra money coming in this scam, and they was kicking the money back up to Terrence Williams, allegedly. And the reason that this was happening was because because they needed some extra money. And this has been going on for the past 3 years. So what they would do is monitor it so they could find out how this operation is working. And of course, they popped somebody off, and somebody was basically telling, and this how they watched everybody in this plan and wanted to see how it was going to blow up. Some people paid back the money. But when it's done sloppy, the way they did it, like they were sending stuff from dental offices with no header, like they typed the words themselves. It was ridiculous what they were sending back to the NBA office, and they was like, "This isn't from a dental office." You got fraud, defrauding, trying to fake. That's like trying to get fake prescriptions medicine. I know, big baby in there crying about Doc. Doc straight. Big baby Davis used to be on Fox. He got himself off Fox. He ate himself off Fox. Somebody read it. I mean, they brought some people in, and some people were telling how they got it and who they found out from. These ain't, a lot of these dudes ain't street. A lot of these dudes are some squares that never really been in trouble before. They ain't want no problems. They in that pulling a choke the joke situation in there. So you put them in a situation like this, the first thing they gonna do is give up people. I remember the only case I had, I could have easily given up a name and been out the door. Right then and there, they opening up the door, taking the cuffs off. You can go home, sir. You're good. We just want a name. I had to eat that and go to trial. I'm like, you think I'm gonna be okay with telling on somebody? Take that shit to trial, baby. Take it to trial. I don't know, man. Darius Miles was on there. I'm saying, oh my God. When I saw Darius Miles' name on there, I just like sunk. My head sunk. Like, oh no, not Darius Miles. Well, I know Monica is happy that she's got the divorce, so she won't be tied into this. But then again, she might because it was 3 years ago. This is going back to 2017. So she can get roped in. It depends on if she had any participation in it. And that might come up in discovery. But Tony Allen from the Boston Celtics as well, him and his wife got named. So the wife must have done something of, you know, falsifying documents or things of that nature to get implemented in this as well. What's up, Kwame? Salute to you, brother. I was watching your video. I got to catch your lives. I've been getting up late. I'm staying up late. I got to get back to my old schedule, man. I'm spending too much time in strip clubs and casinos. I got to get back. I got to get back on point. I missed the damn delivery from the damn people. I got to call them back. They came to my house to deliver the bed for the back room and everything. I was like, damn, I'm getting voicemails and all kind of stuff. I got to get that taken care of. But yeah, 18 former NBA players are caught in this scam, in this scheme that went down, defrauding the NBA healthcare. And like I said, when you do that, over $4 million was, out of it. Some people were getting checks for 200,000, and they said they had to kick the money back up to people. Terrence Williams is the one that started the whole thing and orchestrated it. And they called him the ringleader. And the money had to be kicked up to him, a portion of everybody's money. Tony Allen got in it. The Sebastian Telfair. These are all the people that are named in the federal, the Southern District of New York. They probably did a press conference already. I don't know. I didn't see the press conference. You guys don't really understand how the NBA works. It looks like a lot of money on paper, but what you actually received, a lot of these players did not get those monster contracts. Most of these players were playing for $2 million, $3 million a season, maybe. A lot of them didn't have a vast career. So you're not talking about, let's say you're talking about more than 5 years. Some had 3. Some were journeymen. Like Tony Allen was a journeyman. He played on the championship team, but he was a journeyman through the NBA. Some people didn't get 18 years. 12 or 13. They were out in 7. You look at Shannon Brown. You got Sebastian Telfair on the list. There's a lot of people on this list. You get some. See, that's the thing. You could have some of the doctor offices actually work with you if you had the right ones. They were doing something entirely crazy. They was just cut out the middleman altogether and said, we just gonna falsify documents. That's even worse. Now, if the doctor had risked his profession doing it, that's different. They saying that there was no even, some of the stuff that didn't even have letterheads from the hospital or the doctor's office or even the dental that they were sending in for insurance. Then they said the language was not even spoken. Like no doctor would write what they were writing up there. Like, I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? Dude sick. So just run the bread. Dr. Hemansky. I gave him some of them red ones, the pills, and some blue ones. You can throw them in there. So a lot of this stuff was getting flagged by the NBA. Um, it was bad. Yes, they're charged with being with falsifying documents, fraudulent, which is called fraudulent invoices, um, and filing false claims. Terrence Williams is being named as the Southern District of New York has named him as the orchestrator of this entire plan. Big Baby Davis, one of the biggest names on there that people know, Tony Allen, and his wife Desiree. Both of them are being charged equally, which means she must have helped and did something in the situation that the NBA is suing her as well. You got Allen Anderson, you got Shannon Brown on this list, William Bynum, Bynum's on the list, Christopher Douglas Roberts, Melvin Ailey, Jamario Moon, Darius Miles, my brother. They had Kendrick Perkins typing up the paperwork. Man, I'm going as fast as I can, man. L. Oh, see now I done messed up, man. Give me some of that whiteout. It's computer. It don't need whiteout. You just erase it. Oh, okay. So that ain't gonna be on the paper. No, just hit the backspace button. Backspace? I ain't trying to go in space. Oh man. Yeah, man. I'm sorry to make light of a bad situation. You know, I had to go get Kyrie's jersey. Yeah, they got the Kobe stopper, Ruben Patterson, on there. I don't even know who Milton Palacio is. Eddie Robinson's on the list. Sebastian Telfair, man. Gregory Smith, Charles Watson Jr., Antoine Wright, and Anthony Roten. Wow. Darius Miles, my brother, the Knuckleheads. Oh my God, how did they get you on this list? No, the thing is that, like I said, some people live with outside of their means. You guys don't know there's a thing called the luxury tax that you get hit with. You're taxed so much by the league, period, before you even get your money. Kwame Brown is in here. He could basically break down how an NBA paycheck is. What you get to see on TV, which is crazy, but on television, they show you what somebody's getting paid a year, which is weird. They love to broadcast that for any athlete or whatever. Their paycheck is broadcast. They getting this much money a year. If somebody did that to one of y'all would be pissed. But for some reason, they think the general public needs to know what the athlete is getting paid. Let me guess, LeBron is behind this. He probably the one that called the fans. He probably the one told the league office. No, I saw him in the club last week with me. He ain't hurt. Nope. He ain't hurt. He was telling me how he was getting it. So I called Adam. Like, Adam, man, these dudes talking about they getting money from, from the insurance healthcare plan. He ain't hurt at all. He in here right now, kicking it at my party. I'm going to film with my phone. Hold on. You get that? Yep. Really, Nick. I don't trust him at all. Probably got LeBron name wrapped all around it. It'll probably come up later. So now, my thing is, though, with all the players here, is what you don't really understand, some of you, is that with these players that are named, when they get their money all broken down and they get what they get out of it after paying all the taxes, they are still in a high tax bracket because of where they play. So they can go out and get credit because of where their job is, because they're in the NBA. A lot of players are not millionaires. You get a $3 million deal, you might not have $1 million for the year. A lot of people don't even make millions of dollars a year when you're paying all those taxes and you're in a high tax bracket now. So why are you going through all these years and people don't realize you get credit based on your job? So they'll give you a credit card limitless, 100,000, whatever. So you getting way more in credit than you are in cash. You getting everything just because he's an NBA player. Oh, give him this, give him a card. Now you got all these, and so you got all these young kids, 19, 20, 21, 22, that went from getting $100 a week to go to the mall to giving them millions of dollars. They don't know how to spend that or how to budget to maintain that, and nobody in their family knows how either. They have now become the financial source for their entire family. They're now the financial lifeline of the entire generation. Just that quick, overnight, when they signed the contract. So now here comes a kid into the league, don't know anything. You just want to play ball. And now you got all these people coming at him, trying to get stuff out of him and manage him. I'll manage you and I'll bring you an endorsement and I'll do you this. And then the managers, you don't go with that manager, this manager mad. So now you got enemies for no reason. You don't know you just like, man, I'm just trying to play ball. So now, why you spending this money and be like, man, I ain't got my check yet, but I got credit, so I just use the credit, and then when my money come, I'll pay that off. So a lot of these people and a lot of the players are in debt by the time they're out of the league. It wasn't by their choice to be out of the league. See what I'm saying? Not their choice. They didn't say, hey, you know what? I think I want to be out the league. Yeah, I think that'll be best for me. If I was just out the league, That wasn't their design. So then when you retire, your income drops 70%. for the majority of NBA players, when soon as you retire, that next season, your revenue drops 70%. You're not making that kind of money no more. Why you think they sitting in those broadcast seats? If you had a good enough career to get a pension plan, NBA's pension for retirement, most of that isn't a lot of money, but if you know how to invest it right, you can make a lot of money. And now that the contracts are, a lot of them are incentive based. You look at guys who've lost hundreds of millions of dollars determined by the media. But see, these are the things that were supposed to get negotiated and the bargaining agreements that they had. The sports media, Chris Bouchard gets a vote on who's the most valuable player in the NBA. Even though every year he goes out there and tells people stuff when he's not doing journalist work. Just theoretically throwing out the worst scenario cases, everything based off opinions. So off his opinion, he gets to select who's going on NBA first, second, and third teams. People who have never played the game of basketball. Now people contracts in hundreds of millions of dollars are in the balance. And you've seen people get screwed out of it. You've seen Donovan Mitchell get screwed out of a Supermax because of it. Because he didn't make an NBA first team, or he didn't make any NBA all NBA team. Had he made one NBA all team, even though he did really make it, they didn't put him on it deliberately so that they can alter that man's money. Now they don't have to pay him the Supermax. Utah was the number one team in the NBA, and he had a lot to do with that. And to be screwed out of it like that lets you know there's a problem with the system. So you got to understand something. When players are in these situations here, they're in a financial bind. These guys probably had bills and things that was going on, and they needed some extra money coming in. I remember Darius Miles, he had a big lump sum of money, all gone. Less than 5% of NBA players are living comfortably after retirement. Less than 5% are doing well after retirement. You know how many players are in the NBA? So the NBA decided, because when they did the bargaining agreement, the courts decided that this is neglect. Yeah, well, see, the courts. Yeah, well, see, the courts decided that it would be in their best interest to go ahead and put a plan in place, and they forced the NBA to do it because the NBA was being looked at as a place of neglect. That's almost like child abuse. Giving a child that much money because you were having kids coming in right out of high school. Some of them at that time, so they stopped it because you're making yourself liable. You're giving a kid that's not even old enough to go into a bar millions of dollars and treating him as an adult. And you got him surrounded with all this liquor and drinks and places that he's not even old enough to get into. So the league had to come up with some type of educational program or financial classes. Before you even play a game, they put you in these classes. You got media training, how to handle questions for the media. You have another one. I think it's the league. You got these rookie camps to try to introduce you to the NBA. But they wanted to send you to these financial classes to teach you how to handle your money. They had to put that in place because this does not look good for the league. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they got Tony Allen and his wife Desiree. So Tony probably did some things too. You got to remember, Tony was a journeyman. He was a great defender and all this stuff, but they don't really pay journeymen like that. Then you don't know other people's finances, man. I'll tell you, some people are used to a standard of living, and when they used to making a lot of money, they spend a lot of money. And when they're not making that money no more, they got to curb it down. And some people can't do that. They got to have that lifestyle. Some have to show other people they still got it. And some people have wives who be like, well, I'm not finna change what I'm doing. It's like, well, baby, you weren't making no money. Shoot, I'm making money. I'm just saying, you gonna have to slow down on the shopping sprees every 2 weeks. Ain't no trip to Milan this year. Matter of fact, you might have made your last trip to Milan. Unless the NBA invite me back and they do a tour over there or something. Milan's out, baby. Shoot. I mean, this goes back to 2017. So you're going to be looking at a lot of different changes taking place at that time because in 2018, now you're looking at a situation that could loop Monica in because he was married to Monica in 2017 when this started. So this might she might have been looked at. We don't know. Now they said some of the people got flagged beforehand and they paid the money back to the NBA. Now we don't know who those people are. We don't. We don't know who they are. I say it all the time to people. I said, look, we don't know who most of these people are or what they do or what they doing out here. The reason why Tony Allen was so good on defense is because Tony Allen came from the grit. Plus, he was an instinctive defender. He saw things before it happened, and he knew how to work and move. He knew how to keep Kobe off his spots. And when you learn a player and you know what Kobe likes to do and you know how to disrupt that, you can have a very successful run. Mm-hmm. No, Rip didn't give him problems in the finals. Tayshaun Prince gave him problems in the finals. See, the problem was Tayshaun has a very long wingspan. This is the reason why the Phoenix Suns was able to be successful. Shawn Marion's wingspan would come over and pick up on Kobe Bryant right when he's getting ready to shoot. So if you're the shooter, you have to make an adjustment when you got a taller person in front of you. So it alters your shot. Obviously, right? Tayshaun Prince coming over and switching because Rip would guard him for a little bit. Then it would be Tayshaun Prince. Kobe hit a game-winning 3 over Richard when they put Rip on him. They should have put Tayshaun on him. But they made a mistake and ended up being Rip. Rip gets the ball guarding Kobe. Kobe can shoot over Rip. So he shot the 3, and the only game they won that they should have lost that game is when Kobe hit that 3. But this was the different switch off. They would guard Kobe with, who was that punk that tried to rough him up? Who claimed he didn't like Kobe? Raja Bell. Thought he was tough. He was weak. Trying to rough Kobe up. Got himself thrown out. Kobe was, not gonna work. See, Raja Bell would guard Kobe. Then they would switch off and the Matrix would come over and disrupt his shot. Shawn Marion don't get a lot of credit, because of what he did defensively, getting locked down by the Matrix. Matrix is on the other end busting him up and he's scared to guard him. The year Shaq was done as a basketball player, I would say after the second championship, really, I saw a decline in Shaq. Shaq was somebody who played in the league that no longer had centers. All the great centers had retired or was old. And the game had changed. It went more to a guard game. So there were no more big men. The only big man they had in there was Sabonis. No team had centers anymore. So Shaq was able to be, she's the most dominant force in the league. I'm like, why wasn't he that when he was in the league for 5, 6, 7 years? Shaq didn't win to 99. 2000. So he was in the league 8 years before he won a championship. A prime Michael Jordan. I'm trying to figure out what is a prime Michael Jordan. What is his prime? 91, 92? That what you say Mike was in his prime when he was in his 30s? That was his prime? No, Shaq at that time was athletic, but in his first year, that championship year, that first year, Shaq was actually, he was much bigger, but he had some finesse, like off the glass. He would, and he didn't suck at the free throw line as much as he used to. Like in Orlando, in those last years, they was working on his free throws. He had a free throw coach that they hired just to teach Shaq how to shoot from the free throw line. He digressed when he had went to LA. They didn't care. Just go ahead and be Shaq. The first year they won the championship, Shaq looked good that season. I mean, he was throwing moves off the glass, one-handers off the glass. He wasn't just dunking the ball. He had a little touch. By the second year, I saw a lot of that decline. I saw a huge decline. And by the third year, they won the title, and it was just like, man. That year they played Allen Iverson in the playoffs, and he had to go against Mutombo and all that. That was it. I was like, I saw the decline in him that year. And by that third championship run against the New Jersey Nets, I knew. I knew what time it was. Michael was a primetime player when he came into the. Could no one stop Michael Jordan from scoring? You just want to contain him and make sure he don't score in critical moments. So he could have 60 as long as you win the game. You see, that's the key. It's basketball. It's a team game. You got to know how to be effective and how to use your team, how to orchestrate what you need to get done on the court. Michael Jordan did not become essentially great until about where he was learning the game. He kept running, trying to outwill himself and kept running into the wall. He had to learn how to trust. Then the game opened up. He started to see it. Like, oh, okay. I don't have to just destroy myself every game. And he didn't get like that until like 1990. I would say 1990, that's when he decided to buy in a little bit more. 89 he did to a degree. But he didn't see Doug Collins' vision. Phil saw it. And Phil was like, okay, we need to bring in Tex and get Tex Winters more involved with the play structure. Because they was an X and O's guy. Doug Collins is, I'm a Michael Jordan guy. And I need all these plays, at least 80 of them going to Mike. And Mike loved it. Mike is like, look, Doug plans put the balls in my hands. And here's this guy trying to take the ball out of it. Yeah, of course. If it wasn't for us, Mike wouldn't have anything. See, we were the thorn in the side because we were better than them. We were smarter. That's how we beat all the other teams. It wasn't just the Bulls we beat. We beat everybody else too. They were more talented. We were smarter. Never seen Mike score over 50 and lose? Go back and watch the game where they showed when he scored all that 60 plus points on Boston in the playoffs and they lost. The one where you see him crossing up Bird and he pull up and shoot. They lost that game. Detroit had a super team. No, we developed a super team. We played super. No, in 1990, Mike started to trust it more. He played point guard in 89. Doug Collins moved Michael to the point. And this was going to make it easier for him to go one on one to help him avoid being doubled. He could facilitate the ball, get everybody else involved. Plus, guys that have a hard time trying to double him, if he's got the ball at the top of the key, he'll see the double team coming and he can go right away. The same thing LeBron James is doing now, but nobody needs to double LeBron. But the thing is, the same thing he does, he can see the whole court better, and so he don't have to get blind screened and all of these different things. But Mike just didn't like playing point. After that year, he was like, okay, I played point, but you look at what happened. Mike played point. You saw what happened. You got the shot on Craig Elo from about the free throw line. He got the ball, dribbled it up, pulled up, hit the shot. They began to jail near the end of that season. In all these years of NBA basketball Hall of Fame, there's a Hall of Fame backcourt in Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. There haven't been another in like 40, 50 years. The last, it's only two ever. Hall of Fame backcourt been drafted by the same team. Never. Oh, Dave Bing ain't forgotten. Dave Bing was like, he was the mayor of Detroit for a while. But Dave Bing was great. It's just that when him and Bob Lanier played, they were going against teams that were just ready and primed for championships, like Boston and all these guys. They were good and they just couldn't get wins. As individually, he had great moments, and then you got to sit back when the playoffs come. Y'all missed it or whatever, and they looking at the playoffs and they seeing players on there that they better than, but they at home for the playoffs every year. That's because Joe was quiet. Joe had to guard Clyde Drexler. Joe Dumars had to guard Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller. He had this. That was the years of the two guards. Right. You got Mitch Richmond. Joe Dumars had an assignment to guard all those people. Yeah, he had help when people do switches and stuff like that, but who was the worst number one pick in NBA history? Oh man, that's hard to say. I don't even know. Um, uh, it's a lot of them. No, no, no. I think they mean number one in the draft. Darko wasn't the number one draft pick. A lot of people might say Anthony Bennett. You could look at Michael Olakawande, Candyman. He didn't do too well. His career didn't go out the way, a lot of people thought he should go. Um, I would say I would go with probably Greg Oden. I would say Greg Oden. I look so relaxed. This is just the calm before the storm. I'm just enjoying these small moments before I have to get up and go and do a whole bunch of stuff. So, salute, bro. I'm gonna chill right here for a minute. Then I'm gonna get up, start my day. So, I gave y'all a good hour. What's up, Alex? He said, didn't the same thing happen with the NFL with Clinton Porter's? Yep. Yep, you right. That's I forgot almost forgot about that. The NFL did the same thing. They got Clinton Portis. I think it was some other people too in the healthcare scam. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Major League Baseball and hockey might be next. Where's Savannah? Oh, she's still with Brian for now.